the occasion.
You look very pretty, I must say, in the traditional attire.
Thank you, thank you.
So yes, tell me how is it going, and how are things with your book, your latest book?
So the book released on 26th of July is about to be a month now, and this is
Hmm.
my first Kindle release, as in first indie release. Before this, I've had a few traditional releases, so I was very excited about it, and this is a new process to me. Though I had released a few um, short stories, but the novel is a new book
Okay.
and new process and new everything new about it, and I'm quite enjoying it.
So I must tell all my readers that I've read the book that you just spoke about, and I absolutely loved it because
Thank
I
you.
am a lover of the romance genre, and that book was absolutely amazing because
Thank you
uh,
so much. Means
very
a lot to me.
honestly, the main reason being that, especially in the Indian publishing and writing industry, I've not come across many authors who write romance so well. That's why I specifically liked your book.
That's very, very kind of you to say that. Every author wants to hear these words, and if somebody like you tells me this, my heart is swelling with pride. Thank you so much.
It deserves it, truly. So, since I've read the book, I have had, so many questions running in my mind about the book, and then I read your background, which is so very impressive. I'm not sure the viewers are aware of it or not, but it's in my list of questions when we come across it. So,
Absolutely.
um, my first question to you is, this is your ninth book, right? If I'm not wrong.
This is my third full length book, and there are other short stories that I have released on Kindle. So, as far as the number goes, yes, it's ninth.
Oh my God, that's a huge number. So, would you like to tell us how this book is different or similar to the other books that you have written?
So, the name of this book is Truly, Madly, Crazily in Love. And this is a story about two friends from school who keep meeting each other again and again, though they fell in love in the first few months of meeting each other, but something or the other holds them back. So this is a trope which a lot of authors have used, and this is nothing new about the premise of the story. But what gives it, newness is the fact that I have put my personal experiences also in this. So I am from Lucknow, and the girl that we read about is from Lucknow. The journey that she has taken in her life is very similar to my journey, though experiences that she has are her personal experiences and not mine. But I have sort of taken a leaf from my own life and given her some experiences. So how is it different from other books that I have written is the fact that I found I have matured as a writer. So I think viewers, I mean, the readers will like it more compared to my other books because there is more maturity in the writing. And I think I make fewer mistakes than I did the last time that I wrote my novel. And a few things I had learned while writing the last one, and after the reviews that I got from the last ones, I have implemented in this one. So I'm getting more positive reviews for this one, at least the writing process. So that's how it is different from the others.
That's great. And definitely, I think the growth shows in your writing because
Thank
I
you.
enjoyed it. As I said earlier, I enjoyed reading it.
Thank
So
you so
based
much.
on
Thank
what
you.
your answer, no problem. So based on what your answer is, I have another question related to writing as well as your other profession. Would you like to tell our viewers about your other profession?
Okay, so I am an IPS officer of 2010 batch, and I can't tell you where I'm posted currently, but I can tell you that I'm in a senior position now, and I work hard in my day job, and find it very relieving and you know. To maintain my sanity, I write, and that is something that I had always wanted to do as a child also. And this job, I mean, being an IPS gives me a few opportunities to meet different kind of people every day. Though most people that I meet are dealing with crime or criminals, but I find solace in writing romance to relieve myself of the stress that this job gives me. And I mean, that's what I would like to tell them.
So, taking a leaf out of your personal experiences, would you like to tell us how you balance between these two professions? And this is a great, chance for us to help the upcoming writers out there who are looking for time, manage time, and all that. Because there are so many of us struggling with a day job, and despite having that, passion to write, they don't find the time to write.
See, for me, I started even before I joined the police service. I worked for Times of India as a correspondent for some time. I used to freelance, and frankly speaking, there is very less money in writing business. So anyone who's trying to get established has to do a second job also, to keep the house running. So I was very sure that I had to do something on something other than writing also if I wanted to be independent, because establishing in a career like this takes time. So I kept writing freelance and working and other things, but I kept preparing for these civil services exam also. And once I cleared, I couldn't write for 2 3 years because the training process is very rigorous. But after that, I realized that if you want to write, you can take time out to write. Like I get up in the morning. It I try to write every day, but I'm not successful at writing every day. There are days when there is a bandobast, or there is 15th August or 26th January or some rally or political this or that, when one is very tired and can't do anything about writing. I also have two young children, so managing a young family and this, it becomes very stressful at times. So I would say that I try to write every day, but I'm not successful at that. But when I write, and there is a app called OneDrive, where you can keep all your writings on your phone also, and it's on the cloud basically. So wherever something strikes me or I want to make a note, I make a note on my phone and I can then access it from my laptop. So if I'm free, I am thinking about the particular work which is in progress, and whatever time I can devote to it, I do. Mostly I write in the morning because I'm fresher, and by the end of the day, job tires me and I can't write in the night. Mostly I get up say 5 o'clock early in the morning and then finish whatever 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hour that I can want to put in the writing. दिन में मतलब by the end of the day I'm not able to. So for anyone who wants to manage two things, it's very important that you manage two things, because till you get established, writing will pay you less. So you must work another job, and while working a job, you should never give up writing, because that's your passion and that will keep you happy. Like for me, it keeps me happy. So I get up in the morning and do first thing, I get that writing business of the day, and so I'm satisfied that I have achieved this goal that I had set for the day, and then I go about my day, because generally the day doesn't start before 7 o'clock, so
Hmm.
you can finish your writing by that time. I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but people can do that when they want to do that.
Correct. So the main thing is to have a schedule and have the
Yes,
willingness to do it.
yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. So, talking about your latest book, what I noticed and found very interesting about it is it talks from both point of views of both the female and the male protagonist. So, was
Hmm.
this your first attempt at writing such a way?
See, even when as a young girl, when you had a crush on somebody, the first thing you would want to know is what the guy is thinking. Even if you have sent him a message and he's not replied to your message, or you saw him and waved at him, and so the first thing any girl wants to know is what is the guy thinking. So I also always wanted to, get into the mind of the guy. So I have attempted this in this one. I probably hopefully will get better at attempting these POVs. But this was a conscious attempt to present to the reader both points of views. I, uh, I mean, I have been told that there are I think Nora Roberts does this a lot. She presents it from both points of views, and I have been a voracious reader of her books, and I have quite enjoyed her books. So yeah, I thought presenting both the point of views is important for the reader, especially for young girls who were like me once upon a time and wanted to know what the guy is thinking. That's where I went, because I couldn't be writing only from the girl's point of view.
Correct, correct. And that's I must tell you that has provided an interesting insight to the an angle to the book. While reading, you enjoy the whole process of reading.
Okay,
So
okay.
you've already mentioned that romance is your favorite genre for as a reader and writer as well. So
Yes,
what I want to know is, are you a hopeless romantic in real life also? And who is your
I
personal
am.
favorite?
Well, my favorite author is Jane Austen. Like most of us admire her work and want to be like her and want to be as confident about their writing as she was. So I really love Jane Austen's work. In contemporary writings, I really liked Camilla Shamsi. I love her work. There is a very, very good um, recently I read, not recently, 1.5 years back, I read her Home Office, which was very nice, though it's not really a romance, but there is a very subtle layer of romance in most of her works. The first I read was Salt and Saffron, which was amazing. Then I read Cartography, which was very, very nice. So I recommend her books to anyone who wants a broader look on South Asian writing and South Asian women. She writes really well. And Colleen Hoover, I have picked up recently in romance, and I'm really enjoying her writing. That would be
Oh,
my favorite.
okay. So besides romance, if you have to pick another genre or author, who would it? What genre would be, and which author?
I read a lot of women's fiction. So recently, I mean, this year I have read Margaret Atwood's The Testament, which came out. Then I read Celestine's Little Fires Everywhere, and the other one, I'm forgetting the name of the other book. Then I've read a lot of crime thrillers, The Wife Between Us, Mother-in-Law. Mostly, see, I tend to read women a lot uh, because they speak to me more than I men do. So I read a lot of women authors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, so another thing I couldn't help observing while reading the book is how well the intimacy scenes between the two protagonists have been written.
Yeah.
Again, I would like to appreciate and point out the fact that not many Indian authors are able to do this. So, would you like to share some tips about writing such scenes?
Less is more. I the less you write and the more you emote, I think works for me, because as a reader also, when I started reading very young, I didn't want very graphic scenes. I don't enjoy very graphic scenes. There is erotica for that. So anyone who enjoys that, there is another genre which they can read. But as a romance reader, I like Betty Niels, who used to write very clean, very nice, and one kiss would make you feel so happy that they finally kissed, and make your heart flutter. So I had really enjoyed reading those kinds of books, and I try to write less and bring out more without being very graphic. That is how I do it.
Yes, and it shows in your writing the way you have narrated the scenes between the two protagonists. Uh, the next question I have for you is, as an established author and writer, uh, would you like to explain to us the whole process of going into traditional writing? How does one approach publishers, and how is the entire process from step one to the last step?
Okay, so I've had two traditionally published books. First came out in 2016. It was a collection of short stories, and I had to go from pillar to post to everyone because nobody was willing to take short stories. There are a lot of vanity publishers, and I was very new and I did not know much about it. So I did not go to any vanity publishers or anything, and one of one publisher saw my work and they were okay with it. They said that we will invest in it and we'll bring out, and we don't want any money from you, but promotion you will have to do on your own. So since I was a first timer and I did not know anyone in the industry and did not have the kind of WhatsApp and Facebook support that you have today, I went ahead with it, and they held me in good stead, but the editing could have been better. So one lesson learned from that process was that you must have your personal editor before you mm, begin the process of giving the book to the publishers. So this was the first book. Now the second book was, which came out with Rupa, Someone Exactly Like You. And in that, since it was a novel, I got it edited first. So I had to spend a lot of money to get it edited. So what I had learned from the first book was that a good edited book is more likely to get picked up by the traditional publishers, because no matter what you do, when you are reading your work again and again, you miss out details that a professional publisher can point out. So money spent on publishing is always good, and it will hold you in good stead. uh, so that book I got, just a second, I think my internet is disconnecting, I'll just turn on the hotspot. Okay, so that book I got professionally edited, and I did spend a lot of money on that. Then after that, I looked at various websites and what was their requirement, and most of them require 3 chapters or 4 chapters of your book along with a synopsis and your author bio. That I sent out to Juggernaut, HarperCollins, Rupa, and a few more, Westland and others, I think, a few more publishers. Then, see, they look at everything that you have done till now in the publishing industry. And if at all your books have sold, so they ask me for sales statements. Have your book sold? How much have your book sold? Basically, if they publish you, will you get sold? That is because they are, after all, in a business. Well, they found that my first book had sold enough for them to take interest in my second book, and so Rupa took me on. And from the date of signing the contract to the date of the book being published, it took 1 year and a half.
Oh,
It's a very
okay.
long process, and there are multiple, even though it was professionally edited, there were things that Rupa did not like. They wanted to change it, and we had to undergo that process of editing again. So for anyone who's interested in traditional publishing, you are in for a long haul. And also, very frankly, you never get to know how your book is doing. Like in KDP, you can know exactly if you've sold a copy or two or not, and how many pages are read. But I think it's fairly transparent. But with the traditionally published books, you would like to assume that it's transparent. Most of us assume, because not like you have a choice. So most of us assume, and you can never really know how many you have sold, how many, if you are a bestseller or not. If you get a royalty check, good. If you don't get a royalty check, good, because you're a first timer, you don't pay attention to the contract. So my suggestion to all of you who are trying to get a book traditionally published is to pay a lot of attention to the contract, and your social media presence also matters, and keep writing a lot. um, I think that's about it. And send out your feelers to everyone. Don't get disappointed. It's a long process. Traditionally published books take more than because at least I assume that one book will take a year to write, and after that 1.5 years to get published. It takes time.
Okay. Oh, that's a big revelation for me as well, because uh, though my first two books were traditionally published, they were not by the big five. They were
Okay.
they were published by fairly new publishers themselves, and it didn't take this long. Yeah.
Yeah,
So thank
for the
you.
big publishers, it does take time.
Okay. So, Isha, do you have any questions for me as
Yes,
well?
I do. I do, Manali. I wanted to ask you. I recently read your book, The Art of Being Grateful, and I liked it. And I wanted to ask why you chose to write short stories.
So, short stories, because I believe my forte lies in the shorter version of writing. My first book was a poetry book, and then my second book was a book of micro tales. these two also are shorter versions of writing. And post that, I thought I will dabble into short stories. I have been writing short stories for other mediums, which are published in online portals or in magazines. And I thought it was a good time to bring out a book in a different genre, different form of writing than I have previously published. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the short stories, and I quite like the concept that you have given, connecting short stories also. For anyone who enjoyed one, they can go to the other one. So that was fairly new, and that was quite appreciable.
Thank you.
How do you write? What is your writing process?
So besides, writing for books, I also do freelance content writing and editing, and I maintain my own blog as well. So the entire day looks something like, shuffling between my freelance writing assignments and maintaining the blog. The creative writing I usually do after I've done that, like post 6 p.m. is generally dedicated to my books, where yeah, where I write for publishing.
Okay, okay. So how much time does it take for you to write a book? And how many books
Uh,
have you written till now?
So I have written 3 solo books, and I have been part of 2 anthologies. And
Okay.
in both the anthologies, 2 of my short stories have been published. And the solo book, the first one, as I said, was a poetry book. The second book was a book of micro tales, and the third one is this, which has 8 short stories. The first book that I wrote, the compilation took quite a lot of time because it contains poems from when I was a teenager to the time when the previous night of probably submitting the full manuscript. So you can say about 15 years probably, I can say.
Okay, okay, okay. That's nice. That's nice.
And the second book took me 1.5 years, and the third book, I mentioned it in the foreword of the book, afterword of the book as well, that most of these stories have been previously rejected by one publisher or another. So this compilation has also taken about 2-3 years.
Hmm. Okay, okay. And if you could recommend one of your books to readers, which one would that be?
Based on the reviews that I'm getting, I would definitely recommend my latest one because so far out of all my books, that has been the most positively received book.
Yeah, it's very
And
nice. I also
thank
recommend
you.
that book to your readers.
Thank you. So, yeah, this session was very enlightening for me as well because some of the facts that you stated about traditional publishing, I was not aware of that either.
I
Being a
hope I
writer
have not
myself.
angered a few publishers. I also wanted to know if you had a favorite author and a favorite genre.
I don't have a favorite genre. I enjoy reading all genres equally, be it romance or be it crime or thriller, any romance. So I equally enjoy Sidney Sheldon, and I would equally enjoy Jane Austen. There's no.
That's nice.
And sorry, what was your other question?
I asked if you had a favorite book.
Favorite book? The Harry Potter series is definitely on top of the list because I think my generation is obsessed with that book. And during the 90s, I don't think there was any other author who changed the publishing industry the way she did.
She did, yeah. True, true.
So yeah,
And nobody made the
so yeah,
money that she did. So
oh yeah,
that's also true.
she's like
So,
someone we can all look up to as a reader and as
absolutely.
an author also.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, Isha. So this was a lovely conversation. I had a
Thank
great
you.
time, getting to know about your writing journey, your writing process, and such wonderful insight you shared about the traditional publishing industry as well. So thank you for joining me today. I hope
Thank
our
you.
viewers
Thank you so
also
much, Manali.
enjoyed.
Thank you so much,
And
Manali. Thank you. I had
so
a lovely time talking to you.
yes, same here. I would like to thank all the viewers for joining us, and this video will be uploaded on my IGTV as well as on my YouTube channel by the name of A Rustic Mind. So, in case you have missed our conversation here, you can go ahead and check it out on my IGTV or YouTube channel later. Bye, Isha. This was a wonderful
Thank you,
conversation.
Manali. Thank you, Readers.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
yeah, bye. Hey,
Hi, Manali.
hi, Isha. I'll just rotate my phone because we are both going different time zones. Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm well. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you who are watching us. And to
Yes,
you,
a
Manali.
happy. Yes, yes. I forgot to wish the viewers happy Ganesh Chaturthi, and to you also, Isha.
Thank you so much. I dressed up for the occasion.
You look very pretty, I must say. In the traditional. Hey,
Hi, Manali.
hi, Isha. I'll just rotate my phone because we are both going different time zones. Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm well. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all of you who are watching us. And to
Yes,
you,
a
Manali.
happy.